Okay, hi. Good evening, guys. My name is Anand. I'm from Anvis. And welcome to another, hopefully, an interesting session on DogSpot Facebook Live. We have another interesting topic here. I think this is more about aggregation of questions that some people had. Most pet parents had, a lot of pet parents had about puppies, and I think this is, I think, also like a follow up to the previous session that we did. So yeah, so I think interestingly, I think we wanted to put this like a little checklist together for 10 questions that you guys should ask on your puppy's first day home. Right. So great. So I think Sapna, hello, Rohit, hello, Mona Lisa, hello. So excited about this one. Yeah, absolutely, Mona Lisa. I think hopefully, I think that the tips that I have to share will help some of you. Subramania, hello. Damayanti, thank you for bringing the show. Absolutely, Damayanti. I think the pleasure is really ours. Thanks to Dogspot for setting this such a huge platform, and just so many people join in. I mean, I think it's a really nice platform where we can share our experiences, and pet parents can also benefit from this. So just waiting to see if more people are joining in. I do see a lot of people are joining in. So hello guys, good evening. So just to sort of reiterate for the guys who came in new, I think we are going to talk about like a very simple. Sometimes it's very simple, but sometimes it can be slightly complicated. 10 things you should ask when you bring your the first on the first day you bring your puppy home. What are the 10 things that you should watch out for? Perhaps questions that most people have asked us. Like I was saying, this is mostly we are curating these questions from experiences, right? The question that you guys are asking through the Dogspot Facebook Live that we have been doing. So a lot of questions have been coming in. So we thought we'll curate this and we will start off. So hi guys, Rosalind, hello, Venu, hello, Namrata, hello, Sapna says very helpful for puppies, absolutely, Sapna. Rachel says hello from UK, hi Rachel. Okay, I think probably we can start, right? Okay, so one of the first questions that we have known, most people tend to ask once they. So this is, and just to give some context to this, right? This is after the research. If you remember, we were talking about last time how to prepare the home for the little puppy. I think so. That is something. So preparation has been done, but still after the preparation, when the puppy comes home, D-Day, right? When your puppy comes home, then there are certain questions that runs through pet parents' mind. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to everyone who has bought in a puppy. Lucky are the ones who didn't bring the puppy and they didn't have to go through this stress and have adopted the bigger dogs. I love bigger dogs, but for the younger ones, I think there are some challenges. I think there's a little bit of paranoia in everyone's head, no matter how well prepared you are. So first question, right? And I think this is in no different order in ranking, but just randomly, I'm saying. First question is we've had this question saying, should I invite all my friends and family to meet the puppy on homecoming day? Which is basically it's a very exciting time. Your puppy is coming home. You obviously want to share this bundle of happiness, no pun intended, with everybody, right? Your friends and your family. So you would want to call everybody and make a big hoo-ha about it. And I know personally people. There have been pet parents who have done this whole traditional arti thing that we do when welcoming. I think welcoming guests or welcoming new people or uh, so is it a good idea to have friends family come in when you bring your little puppy home? My personal opinion, no. And I also try and give some logic or what I feel why we shouldn't. See, your puppy is coming in from a different home, or if you've adopted the puppy from some place, has obviously has is a different setup. Everything has been different. Everything has is changing when he or she comes to your home. the last thing you want to do is overwhelm this little one with so many people, right? Friends, family coming, everybody trying to touch the puppy, everybody trying to pitch the puppy, everybody is like kuchi going over it. Oh, so cute, blah blah, and doing things. Imagine that puppy. This is very similar to, and if I can take, like how we do with little kids also, right? When you meet in functions, what do we do when we see kids? Everybody's jumping on the kid and pinching their cheeks and saying, "Oh, you've grown so tall. Oh, you're looking like this," and blah blah. Have when you ask the kids hate it, right? I don't think any kid has ever enjoyed getting that kind of an attention from so many different people in a strange environment, right? So for me, if you ask me, I think the first day should really be like a calm kind of a thing. You bring the puppy in, no fuss, no mess. Bring the puppy in, let the puppy settle in. There are a lot of things that the puppy is processing at this point in time: new home, new people, new environment, new smells, new sounds. Everything is new. The last thing you want to do is overwhelm the puppy with like all kinds of people coming in and jumping and trying to cajole the puppy and pick up the puppy and all that. So first question, should I invite all my friends and family to meet the puppy on homecoming day? My answer to that would be no, please don't do that. At least in my personal opinion, let the puppy settle in for the first few days before you can, then by all means, right? Then slowly start inviting, because that's an important process in socializing the puppy. So do not hold back on that, but do it slowly, not on the first day. Right. Second question, is that all right? So second question, and this is most asked question is, should I take my puppy out? And by out, I think there are two scenarios where we have come across. One, I think people want to take the puppy to the vet, right, to get the puppy sort of checked up, etc. Second is an offshoot of the first thing, which is basically, oh, the puppy has come home. Now, can I take my puppy and have my puppy meet all the other doggies and the puppies in my neighborhood, and we'll go to the dog park, or I will take my puppy to the neighbors and friends and family? Should I do that? Answer to that, unfortunately, no. At least in my opinion, I don't think we should do that. Reason being, vet's place, I definitely think we should not take the new puppy into a vet's place. Reason being, see, vet's place is a place where there is a lot of, airborne, waterborne, all kinds of infection, right? So as much, and even the best of veterinary places, although they keep swabbing, cleaning and everything, and they're doing the best to keep it clear and clean of germs, there is a very high likelihood that there could be germs that can go back and forth. And you have to remember, your little puppy is has not yet been exposed to the environment as much, and has not really built an immune yet. So you're exposing the puppy to a lot of things that the puppy can pick up from other dogs and from the environment, etc. But in cases, right, I think I will go with a disclaimer here. In case, of course, right, puppy has certain, if you run into issues, medical issues, right, puppy has got loosies and, whatever, right, if there are certain things that are there that needs to be seen by a vet, please, by all means, you have to, because then you'll have to sacrifice this. But otherwise, as a general checkup, I don't think it is required. Should you take the puppy to go take your puppy on the first day and then go to the dog park, and where the puppy can meet all the other dogs in your society or apartment complex or neighborhood? Please don't do that, because whatever all said and done, first day is can be a very stressful day for the puppy, and then you do not want them to get into too many places, one which overwhelms them, two where they can pick up certain infections or whatever. So please do not do that. You don't want to overwhelm the little one. Okay, so I have a question here. I think we have Mr. Sitaram, and he's a very well-renowned trainer, handler. Sir, he says, what age do you recommend for training? Sir, in my opinion, I think I start with puppies. I start as early as about 2 months, just basic, right? And which they probably don't even realize, but it's just recall. Come when called you. Every time we just say, come on, let's go. They start just getting voice association and sound association. And then I do see some puppies at about 2 3 months, they start picking up sit down, stay, etc. So I'd like to start with training, not in a in a in a professional sense, but I'd like to just like more like a bonding kind of a thing. So yeah, earlier the better, right? I think I've worked with smaller puppies as well, like indoors, obviously, such that they start building some better bond. Sohini is asking how much prone to germs and diseases are the pet parents once the puppy comes home. Sohini, that's a good question. So you're saying uh, pet parents. So are you saying that is there any chance of any kind of germ spreading on to pet parents? Is that your question? Am I reading that correctly? If that is your question, no, I don't think you need to worry too much about germs passing from the pets to the pet parents. I think I'm reading this. Perhaps I'm reading this wrong. I don't know. If you can clarify, I can tell you. Um, and but I mean, if you have a younger kid, baby at home, I would suggest. I think I'm more pro puppy, so I would say keep the puppy slightly away from your kids because we don't want anything picking up a puppy, little one picking up anything from your skin kids. But I mean, help me understand if I've got the question correct or there's something else to it. Okay. So you're saying, yeah, no. So if you're saying that, no, there's I think very little that you can pick up germs from the puppy to the humans. I don't think there is anything like that, and maybe we are slightly bordering on medical, but as per my limited knowledge, I don't think so. But we can check with the vet. I think we do have a lot of sessions on dog spot. I think one of the vet sessions also, perhaps I would suggest to bring it up, and we'll run it past. But as per my knowledge, no. I think it's more about the puppy picking up anything from the environment than the other way around. Okay, Manita, how do I introduce my puppy to my senior pet when the puppy first comes home? Manita, so that's a slightly longish kind of a thing. Maybe here we are not really touching upon it, but let me see if you're able to cover it. I can probably give you a quick. So hang around. So let me try and see if we can cover a few things, and if I can try and connect a few things to how to introduce younger puppies to older ones because it's slightly elongated. I think we need to do it step by step correctly because otherwise we could be putting either, excuse me, either puppies or the older ones a little bit at risk. But hang in there. We'll try and see if we can within. If you have time, I will probably touch upon that. Sohini says we adopted in India and wanted to check. Okay, so Sohini, if you adopted the indie straight off the streets, is if that is the thing, or you adopted from NGO, I think if you adopt from an NGO, again, you don't need to really worry about. They would have done the basics. If you've adopted from the street, yes, then perhaps it's a good idea to go ahead and get your puppy checked by a vet. Make sure that deworming and shots that needs to be done have can be given, and then you can bring in. But again, there is no real danger of germs passing from the puppy onto you. Chetan says, "How do I socialize my puppy during lockdown? Can I take him for walks? Is it safe?" I think Chetan, maybe again, this is probably a different one. I think we did touch upon some of the older sessions of DogSpot. Maybe somebody from DogSpot can tag the video. I think there was a video on socializing puppy during lockdown, socializing puppy during dogs itself, socializing during that time. I think we did touch upon that. Right. Okay. So question number 3 is, and I think fairly most asked questions is, what should I feed my puppy? I think this is a fairly, I think it's a this question gets asked quite a bit. I think we did touch upon this last time also in one of our sessions where we said, hey, as a pup, when you bring in a puppy, what should you feed your puppy? I will reiterate this because this is one of the most critical things uh, that can help either settle or unsettle the puppy. This is basically whatever food the puppy was used to having in the previous setup, the quantity and timings continue the same thing for the first 2 3 days at least, 2 days at least, so that you do not change Do not change too many things. Puppy doesn't have upset tummy and loosies, things like that. Post that, you can move the puppy into something else. Like I would definitely recommend good dry food. You have starter puppies, you can start, but do not do a quick shift, which is basically, do not say today you're giving maybe Cerelac and tomorrow don't move them to dry food. So it has to be, you have 75% of, if, for example, if the puppy is on Cerelac, 75% of Cerelac, 25% of dry, I mean, or whatever, right? The kibble, which is soaked, and then you do 50-50, then you do a 75-25, and then you move it into completely 100%, right? So diet is very, very, very important, because any quick change in diet and water can really, a healthy puppy can go from being nice and fluffy and healthy and playful to being inactive and just can lose weight very, very quickly. So it's very important to keep a check on the diet. Again, from a experience standpoint. So we have two questions. Anjali ma'am says, what age minimum to bring a puppy home? And I think what is appropriate age? Gagandeep also asked the same question. So my preference, ma'am, and I think ma'am is so much more experienced, but in my humble opinion, definitely 8 weeks minimum to 12 weeks. I think my reasoning for that more so is because of the whole socializing that happens with the siblings and the mother, and it's so much more easier when the puppy comes home, because a lot of teething issues is not there. Potty training is, they've already learned through the siblings and mother and all that, and they are a lot more well behaved, if I can say that, if we can call well behaved puppies. I don't think there's something like well behaved puppies, but anyway. um, right. So I will just take, so feeding, right? So top three things is, should I have my puppy meet friends and family on homecoming day? My answer is no, for fairly obvious reasons. We don't want to overwhelm the puppy. Should I take my puppy out to meet the vet or other people, friends, family, dogs in the community? My friends' dog. Please don't do that. What should I feed my puppy? Whatever the puppy was already having, continue with that, and then slowly, gradually transition to a better meal. And this is another question that keep coming up, right? When should I potty train my puppy? And I say this because a lot of people, when the puppy comes home the first day, they're like, okay, you have free run of the house, and puppies running everywhere, and a lot of photos are getting clicked and videos are getting clicked, and lots of oohs, ahs going on. And I have seen people personally also, right? I have seen that when the puppy pees the first time or potty, it's like a very nice thing. Oh, look at it, so cute. The puppy is peeing in the hall. Oh, look at that. But that quickly changes in 10 days time, because the puppy is being in so many places, and the pee increases, and it's not as much as ooh ahs as it was the first day. But if you really look at it from the puppy's point of view, there's absolutely no fault, right? I mean, when you allowed the puppy to do something the first day, and then you do not say anything, and suddenly if you're upset that the puppy is peeing and pooing, it's not right, right? So I will say potty training start from the day the puppy comes in. Make sure you have a place. Either you can do paper training, which is basically, you keep paper and you have the puppy pee on the paper every time. But also, if the puppy comes in from a reputed source, and then they would have told you where the puppy pees, right? Usually after food, waking up, there are some certain, they know the process, and they will tell you, and you just need to follow that. If not, I will suggest to keep a spot for the puppy. It need not be outside. If you have a home with a balcony, allocate one part of the balcony. Again, you can put paper there. There are many things. These are all old school hacks. What I used to do long back was, you have your flower beds, which is slightly raised. You just fill it up with sand, and that can be your little area where the puppy pees and poos. So every time puppy goes there, pees, it's also easy to clear that sand. You just remove that sand, you throw it off. Because the reason, when you do it on sand or mud or that kind of a surface, later on when you start taking your puppy out, the puppy will start will pee and poo outside in an outdoor environment. Paper training, same thing. You start with paper training right from day one. The first pee or poo you should catch on the place you think that you want the puppy to be doing, at least for the next month or so, because you cannot take them out as till the I don't know, depending on the age of the puppy, one more vaccination is due, at least specifically the anti-rabies is due. You cannot take them out, so make sure that you get them used to a place where they can pee and poo, and then that will just move outside. So do not allow your puppy to pee and poo even on the first day, right? Do not. It's not. I mean, as much it's okay to give that leniency and saying it's okay. It's just first day, right? I don't want to put pressure on the little puppy. You're setting wrong expectation with the little thing, because she will pick up on the smell and then will probably go for it. And once if they pee in a living room in one corner, because they're so low on the ground, for them anywhere else they can pick up the smell, and anywhere else is still okay for them to pee and poo. So potty training right from day one. One more question is. So one more question is, how much play versus sleep time should I expect? I think this is something that we do get a lot. People bring the puppy in, and then there's, after all the excitement wears down, puppy is sleeping, and then they get a little perturbed, saying, "Oh my God, puppy is sleeping for such a long time. What do I do? Is it okay? Is it normal? Should I allow the puppy to sleep? Should I wake the puppy? What's happening?" Right? It's normal, right? It's absolutely normal. Allow the puppy to sleep as much as they can. The more they sleep, so that's just like babies, right? They will sleep a very long time, and I don't know the exact number of hours, but I am given to understand anywhere between 12 to 14 hours, if they sleep, is still is okay. I mean, that helps them to sort of it helps with the building and and everything. So it's okay. So do not wake the puppy up, and do not do this again. Going back to point one, puppy is sleeping because some visitors came in and said, "Hey, I heard you got your new puppy home. Can we meet her?" "Yeah, yeah, sure. Hey, puppy, wake up. Here, somebody's there." No, no, don't do that, please. Let the puppy sleep. Let the puppy sort of get used to the environment, get used to the sleeping quarters, everything, right? Do not disturb. So it's absolutely normal for puppies to sleep for a very long time. So it's absolutely okay. Play, the only other time the puppy will play is after food. Puppy has got energy, will play, and then you will see puppies will, and most of us who have had puppies, I think that's the best part of puppies, is they will keep playing, and suddenly halfway during the play they will just sleep, like they will just flop. So it's like really funny. The first time I was also a little concerned. I was like, is everything okay with the puppy or what? But then I realized that that's how they are, right? So they get this little energy burst, and then they sort of just flop, and then they sort of recharge. So it's okay. How much play versus sleep time should I expect? You should expect a lot of sleep time, very little play time. Do not wake the puppy up and make them play because you felt like it. Let them sort of sleep. That's really good for them. Anjali ma'am has another question. Do you think it's important to introduce your new puppy to a particular place, crate, for him to sleep? Which will be the puppy place always? Absolutely. And this is actually, I have question number 6, and I have it written here. Where should my puppy sleep? Right. I think that is something that most people ask. Where should your puppy sleep? Personally, I am a big fan of having puppies used to crates. And we spoke about it, I think, in one of our previous sessions. We spoke about crates. Uh, Again, dogs are creatures of habit. Give them places where they can call it their own. So crate is like a little den. It's their little home. They can go in. You can, like, if it's that mesh type of crate that we were talking of, you can cover it with a cloth so they can go in there. They can sleep. Put a nice, you can put waterproofing bedding there, or a turkey towel or something like that, which is like slightly warm for them, depending on which part of the country you're in. Or if it is very hot, then you can, like if it's a fiber crate, you can still allow them. You can just put a thin piece of cloth, and you can allow them. There should be a lot of aeration, ventilation, but get them used to their little home, right? We all have our rooms that we retire into, right? We have our bedroom. We don't really like we do have, when it's night and evening, we have to sleep, we go into our room, and we have habits, right? So form that habit right from day one. Get the puppy to understand that if the puppy is getting bothered by kids, should be able to go back to its crate or cage, and sleep. Again, crates and the wire mesh crates and puppy pens, these are all not punishment zones, right? You cannot, because a puppy peed or something and is being naughty, don't put them and ban them there. That's not the idea. The idea is for them to get used to that place and start accepting it as a safe zone, not a punishment corner. But I am a big fan of crates. I have had my dogs all used to crates. It used to be absolutely great, especially when we used to travel, because you could just take the crate, put it in, and they would sit in there, and we could go and we could live pretty much anywhere. In the middle of nowhere, we could go. The dogs are absolutely comfortable because they have their homes. We could go to hotels, just put in the crate. The dogs are in the crate, so you don't really have too much trouble, especially when you're traveling. But also inside the home for the dogs, I think crate is like a big deal, right? I'm a big fan of having crates. But do go through the whole crate training process. Like I said, it's not a punishment thing, so make sure that slowly get them acclimatized such that they start feeling comfortable and safe going into their crate. So that is what. Shobit has a question. Do puppies have different personality like adult dogs of different breeds, or are they all the same? Related question. Which is your favorite puppy? Uh, Shobit, yeah, I think, right. I think puppies also come in with different personalities. They do, depending on many things, right? It depends on breed, it depends on upbringing, it depends on environment. In a litter, you will see puppies that have extremes of personalities, right? One is superbly outgoing, one can be clingy, one can be a little anxious, things like. So you can see a variation. Of course, they do have their personalities. They do have a personality. Which is your favorite puppy? I think I don't have a favorite puppy, to be honest. I'm not being diplomatic here. I just like all puppies. I think the best thing I like about puppies is, I don't know if you guys have experience. I think it's the smell, something very edible about that smell with puppies. Any puppy, right? Especially after they have had their meals. I think something about them. So, I mean, I love puppies of any puppy is all right with me. I love them. I also like older dogs. I also like senior dogs. So I think it's not even a question. Anyway, um, I think question number 7: should I carry my puppy? How should I do it? Right. I think this is a fairly. I think it's not so common, because most people tend to think that because we are at a different height, puppies at a slightly different height, right? We always tend to pick the puppies up to us, right? So we want to make sure that the puppy is here, and then you hand it over to someone else. Kids pick up the puppies, etc., etc. Um, I'm not a big fan of picking up puppies, right? To be very honest with you, because a lot of things can go wrong when you pick up puppies. Also, there's a way to pick up puppies, but I'm not a big fan of picking up puppies. I would rather have the puppy walk and all that and call them and lead them along wherever we have to go, but not picking up every time. So bigger dogs, of course, right? So you cannot pick them up after some time. But smaller ones you can. But I still feel the more you pick up puppies, what happens? It gives them a sense of elevation, and so that's why they say that smaller dogs are more barkier than the rest. I mean, it also comes from what they were bred to do, etc. But more so because they like to, when you have a vantage point, they like to look down and they like to bark, 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 and they know that they're in safe this one. So I'd like to lead them on ground itself. I don't like to pick them up too much. Leave them on the ground and leave them as they are. How should I carry my puppy? If at all you have to carry a puppy, there are times when you have to carry your puppy, right? Let's say you have to take your puppy and you have to go, you have to go to some place, the puppy cannot move, or you have to go up the stairs or something like that. Or how should we do? There are different techniques of carrying a puppy. I think one of my technique is, maybe I can just show it with this, my little, um, so let's assume this is a puppy. It's not really a puppy, but let's assume it's a puppy. What I like to do is this front two legs, I like to personally, I like to put my hand like my the front part of it here, such that the puppy is sitting like this, right? And then I like to keep them here such that the legs are dangling down, both the leg this side and that side, and then back they have my arm to support, and this side they have my chest to support, and then I like to hold them as like this, like this. So in that way, what happens is the puppies cannot really jump out. I have double layer. Their legs are hanging on either side, right? I like to do that. Again, I don't like to pick puppies up like this, right? Not with the hand, not with this, but from the underneath, I like to sort of pick them up. So you're not hurting their little tummies. You're not hurting any of their joints, legs, etc. Right? But this is how I like to really hold. Like this is how I like this. I don't know if this is helpful. I wish I had a pup here, um, but I don't. That's the best I could in terms of a demonstration. But maybe sometime we will get a puppy here, and then I can show if at all if that's required. What's my eighth thing to do is what surfaces are good for my puppy. I think this is a very, very, very important one, where people mostly, I think most of the places have got smooth surfaces, right? Which is basically you have, I don't know, wooden flooring, you have tile flooring, you have marble flooring, everything is smooth surfaces. And for most dogs, smooth surfaces is not the best of surfaces growing up. Right? I think the experts will agree. I think the most vets will also agree is that you need to make sure that they grow up, especially when they're playing and they're having, rough play, or you're working with them, or you're training them and all that. You don't want them slipping like that, because then they will lose their footing. They need a nice rough surface to do that. I can give you wild ideas. I can actually give you examples of a person who they had in their front yard. So this was not even, it was actually an independent house in a front yard, and they had, I think, granite slabs put in for the cars to come in and all that. And when they took in the puppy, and then, I was talking to them about this, the lady of the house got so stressed about it that she called me one fine day and she said, okay, you know what, we changed that whole granite, we broke the granite and we replaced it with the garden tiles, which is like the rough one. They changed that. I mean, I was obviously over the moon to see that people can go to such lengths to do this. But I'm not saying everybody have to break their tiles, but you can do temporary structure. Like I think we were discussing in one of the older sessions was that somebody said, can we put like yoga mats or coir mats, right? At least in areas. I know it'll look a little ugly, but it's for a few months, and the minute your puppy gets a lot of grip while running and playing and all this, so you don't actually also need to restrict the puppy while playing and running. But it's good to have rough surfaces as much as possible, especially growing up, right? Once they have grown up, then it's okay, then you can go back to your normal thing. So I'm slightly anxious about surfaces, especially bigger dogs. They do have, I mean, they do have joints, and it's growing up, so you need to be really, really careful, and you don't want them, like, also with smooth surfaces, what happens is that they will keep running, they'll be doing their zoomies, and then they will go and then they will land on one of the edges, and it's really not good, right? It can lead to so many problems, so please be very, very careful. Try and allocate, right? Again, if you have rough surfaces like garden areas, or places where there is like maybe terrace areas, or places like, or if you have a smallish balcony, you can cover that balcony area with, like I said, either this either yoga mats, or you can cover it with those footrest coir mats and things like that. But watch out, puppies being puppies will go after your yoga mats and the coir mats, and also don't leave them. I don't trust these puppies. They are very, very sneaky. um, I think this is another question, which says that, hey, I got the puppy from a breeder, and what about KCI papers and microchip? When should I expect it? Probably I will. What I'm given to understand, it does take some time for the microchip and the KCI papers to come in. I do not think that it's given on the same day. It's been a long time since I had any puppies. It's been a very long time, so I'm a little out of touch. But I think somebody can clarify. But I do understand that it takes a process. I think it takes about 2 to 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. And any breeder who's worth their salt will actually follow up and ensure that the microchip certificate is given to you, and the microchip is given. So somebody who's saying, but I don't think that the papers are available at, even if at 3 months, I don't know if it will be available at that point in time. But perhaps I can, probably check this, and then I can come back, and we can post this on the exact timelines, right? And I have one last question. I think this may be my last question, which will be, what all toys should I give my puppy? Again, in the excitement of bringing home a puppy, I think most people go shopping for their little puppy, and then they end up buying like whole lot of stuff, right? Stuffed toys, to this toy, to that toy, and God knows what all. Again, when you give like a bunch of things when the puppy comes home the first day, like something that is squeaky, something that moves, something that has got like tug toy kind of a thing. If there are so many things that are there, um, again, it overwhelms a little one. So what you may want to do is just focus on like a few basic ones, which is typically, it could be something as simple as something that can engage their mind and the whole, because they could be excuse me, because they could be teething. So you may want to engage with things like that. Something that you can, there are many toys that you can stuff, like semi-solid, solid food, freeze it, and then give it, which will also help with the numbing of the gums. So they're teething and they're wanting to attack and destroy other things is much lesser. And you can also have other toys that is mostly treat dispenser kind of a thing, right? You put treats inside, and then the puppy moves them. I mean, as they move around, the treats fall. So it'll also keep them engaged a little bit. It's a game, plus it also gives them some treat. It keeps them sort of engaged. Right. So that's it, guys. I think some of the questions, I think just quickly, for the benefit of the guys who have joined in a little late, I just thought I will quickly summarize this very quickly. Question is, should I invite all my friends and family to meet the puppy on homecoming day? No. Should I take my pup out to either meet the vet or other friends, friends, family, etc.? No. What should I feed my puppy? Same thing that the puppy was used to, and then slowly transition. When should I start potty training? Right from day one. Do not miss that. Do not allow the puppy to say it's okay to pee today. It's very cute. Tomorrow you're not cute. Not fair to the puppy. Play, how much play versus sleep time should I expect? Puppies will sleep a lot. Give them that kind of thing. Don't wake them up in between their sleep, and because they have visitors and things like that. How should I carry my puppy? I did a very basic demonstration, not the best, but if needed, that's how you should carry the puppy. You can probably watch the video and give me some inputs on, if it's all right. How should I do it at all? The question is, should I do it? I think no, probably not. Please don't. Please don't try as much as possible not to carry the puppy and just leave them on the ground and sort of move them. Where should my puppy sleep? Definitely should have a sleeping quarters, should have a place where they can sleep. I'm a big fan of crates, etc. And so get them used to the crate, and they will be okay. So you can move the crate also, everywhere. KCI papers and microchip, I think I will come back to you in terms of timelines, but I don't believe that it is given the day the puppy goes out, because it does take time for it to go to, I think it goes to Chennai and then it comes back, but I can clarify that for you guys. What all toys should I give my puppy? Don't overwhelm your puppy with too many toys. Just give them basic couple of toys, and then you can keep adding toys. Just be sure that, like we discussed the last time also, is that don't give them any toys that has got things that can hurt them, right? Which has got like, teddy bears that have got like those, buttons, and nose that have got those buttons, because these guys can quickly just swallow it. So I'm just going back to last one, because we do have, maybe I'll just take 5 more minutes with to Chetan. No, sorry, not Chetan. I think we had somebody who said, how do I introduce my puppy to my senior pet? Manita. Manita said, how do I introduce my puppy to my older one? I think obviously when you bring I personally, this is my way of doing it. I don't know. There could be many other ways of doing it. This has worked well for me. See, first of all, I think you need to know if your older one is okay with is okay with other dogs, puppies. Most dogs are generally okay with puppies because puppies go belly up and then they sort of expose, and then even slightly not very social dogs also sort of tend to give up. They'll just ignore and then they'll go. But the safest way of doing this is to bring in like a barricade, which is like a baby cage or a puppy pen or something. Puppies remains in the puppy pen, older ones remains outside. You have to give them enough time to smell each other through a barricade. Unless, of course, like I said, if your dog is already used to puppies and is all there, then you can go. You can perhaps go all out. But I still, just to be on the safe side, right? Because if your dog is a big dog and the puppy is really small, then you want to put them through that way they can first smell each other, get the sense that each other are living in the same space, right? And then slowly start leaving them out in short periods of time, because you don't want puppies being puppies. Puppy doesn't know this big dog and will just go and will start jumping at this one, standing on this one, pulling the mouth and running after the tail, etc. Not all older dogs are okay with that, so some will snap back and all that. So you may want to keep it under constrained conditions. Slowly do that. Don't expect your older one to sort of just take in the younger one just because that was supposed to be. Give them enough time. Slowly you bond them together such that they get used to it. So you start right and also make sure you give enough attention to your older one. Just because the younger one came in does not mean that you should probably, I know nobody will do that, but I'm just as a afterthought, I'm sharing this. So give enough attention to your older one even while your younger one is around and stuff like that. Slowly, I think they will get used to. I think mostly puppies to older dogs, by and large, I think the ratio of them getting used to each other is quite okay. Right. I hope there are no other questions. Subramanya, I think there's one last question. This is a bit beyond puppy. When they move to adolescence, some dogs pick up humping. We discourage, but any other method? Subramanya, again, this is a longish kind of a thing, but it could be for many reasons. Hormones is actually one of the bigger reasons why they start doing that, and then it becomes a behavioral issue. And then after that, you have to really look at separating those two and all that. But discouraging them, definitely, right? I think you should discourage them because it can lead to slightly other things if it is not caught early on. Right. Okay, guys. I think if you do have questions when you're watching the video, whenever you watch the video, feel free to leave your comment here. I think we will check, and if there is anything that we can respond, we will respond. If you think this helped, or you know someone who has a puppy, probably going to get a puppy, looking to, feel free to share this video as well in your different group circles, etc. And of course, like I said, anything is there, you can leave your comments here. Okay, so with that, I think I will take leave of you guys. Thank you guys for giving this opportunity for me to come and share some information here. I hope it was helpful. So if there are questions, let us know. But thank you so much, and keep tuned to Facebook live series. There are lots of interesting, exciting sessions coming up, and there's a lot of information sharing that's happening. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.